Welcome back to Cooking for Health. Joining us today is Chef Rosa Zamora with the Pepita Pesto as part of our low sodium cooking series.
Low sodium, no sodium Pepita Pesto that can be used in a variety of ways. And it's always important when you're not using or adding salt to a recipe that you have to really bump up the flavor in a lot of other ways by adding, acid and fat and lots of herbs. And so that's kind of where the idea for this recipe came for. And we're going to start with a half cup of pepitas or pumpkin seeds. We're going to add them to a warm pan because we just want to toast them up a little bit to get rid of that raw flavor. We're also going to add 2 cloves of fresh garlic to this pan. Same thing to get kind of rid of that raw garlic flavor so it's not too sharp. And we're just going to crush and peel those. Add those to the pan. And you're just going to kind of wait till you smell the garlic, and you're going to look and you're going to watch the pepitas. They're going to change colors. They're going to get a little toasty. They may start to release a little bit of oil. And like I said, we want to make sure we don't burn any of this because all of this will become very bitter if we overcook it. We just want to toast it lightly to bring out the flavors and the oils in these ingredients. Those are just about done. Another way to tell is that some of the seeds will begin to pop or make a little bit of a sizzling noise. And so we're going to turn the heat off on those because we want them to cool slightly before we add them to the food processor. So we're just going to remove them from the pan so that they don't continue to cook. Because if you leave the pepitas in the warm pan with all the residual heat, they will burn before they cool down. So we're just going to scoop all those out of the pan. Okay, and we'll put those aside to cool while we prep the rest of our ingredients. Like I said, to make things taste really good without salt, we want to add a lot of big flavors and herbs. So we're using 2 big whole bunches of herbs. We're gonna do parsley. This is flat leaf as well as cilantro, and these have already been washed. So we're just gonna cut the very bottom off of them, but we are gonna use the stems, and we're just gonna look through them real quick, make sure that there aren't any yellow leaves or rotten leaves in the middle, which sometimes can happen. For example, I just found one, so we're just going to pick out anything that doesn't look good before we add these to our food processor. And if you don't have a food processor, you can hand chop all of this or use a mortar and pestle. It takes a little longer, but it just works just as good. Okay, go through all of our leaves. You don't want to have anything rotten or yellow in there. Okay, that looks pretty good. And then we're just going to chop these bunches of herbs just into about 4 pieces, just so that you don't have big long pieces. And we're just going to add that straight into the food processor. Okay, and then we're just going to pulse that until that's kind of just roughly chopped and all the herbs are into smaller pieces. Sometimes happens, they got kind of stuck on one side, so you can just open that up, push them down. Okay, and then we're going to add our liquids that are going to kind of pull the sauce together. We're going to use the juice of 1 lemon. I'm just going to squeeze that through this little strainer so we don't get any seeds in there. And this acid is going to bring a lot of flavor, a lot of freshness. The citric acid in the lemon is also going to help keep this really bright green so it doesn't turn brown. This is a really juicy lemon. And if you don't like it as acidic or you don't like as much lemon, you can start with a half lemon and then blend it and then see if you want to add more. I like all that acid in there. And then we're also going to add a 1/4 cup of olive oil. This organic olive oil. Olive oil is really nice for sauces like this because it's not going to be cooked since it does have a low smoke point. About a 1/4 cup there. And then we're just going to pulse that again until it starts turning into a paste. Keep scraping down our sides, make sure that everything really gets incorporated in here. Parmesan yeast is really a nice thing, especially because this is a cheese-free, dairy-free pesto. That's going to add kind of that cheesy, funky flavor, the umami you're looking for, which is also going to help you make it more flavorful without adding salt. I'm going to add a 1/4 teaspoon of crushed red pepper flake to bring a little bit of spice and heat. And if you want it spicier, you can always up that. And then we're going to add our roasted pepitas and garlic to bring a little more fat to the party. Healthy fats, a little bit of protein from those pumpkin seeds, and then the nice garlic flavor as well. And then we're just going to process that until everything comes together into a rough paste. I'm going to scrape it one more time before we finish processing it. I'm going to add just a little more oil to bring that together. It'll depend on your own dietary needs if you want to keep it lower fat or you want to add a little more oil to make it a little more rich. And that looks nice to me. If you can blend it a little smoother, you can leave it a little chunkier, kind of depending on your desires and how you're going to use it. And this has so many great uses. You can toss like pasta in it or cooked grains. You can toss it with carrots or any other root vegetable and roast them. You could coat protein in it and bake it. You could add it to top soups. You could mix it with vinegar to make salad dressings. It's just a really beautiful, flavorful ingredient, and you can just use it in so many ways.
Cooking for Health, a community cooking class brought to you by First Choice Community Healthcare, Agricultura Cooperative Network, La Cosecha, and other valued community partners. Thank you for watching. Tune in for the next fun and healthy recipe from Cooking for Health.